strong, mobile, and sexy workout. Today's focus is going to be on the glutes. So for equipment today, there is an option to grab a band and of course a heavy dumbbell. But without further ado, we're gonna get right into the dynamic mobility warm-up to start. So we're gonna go ahead and actually start in a standing position today. So we're gonna go ahead and come into a beautiful airplane position. So meaning we're gonna be doing one leg, single leg. So if for some reason your balance is a little bit wobbly today, you can feel free to use a wall as support for the arms, but if not, we're gonna be right here. So we're gonna go ahead and extend the arms forward while simultaneously lifting the one side leg off the floor. I'm starting with my right leg. Inhale here. And then exhaling to open up through the side of the pelvis here. So this is where we're gonna get really wobbly and challenging the balance. So if you need that wall, grab it now. And then bring the pelvis back into a neutral position. Reset, slightly bend into that standing leg here. Inhale, grow nice and long and tall through the spine. And then exhaling to rotate through that hip. Open to the same side that we are lifting that back leg. Nice. Looking good. So slow and controlled here. Reset back into our single leg stance, kind of like a yoga pose, a half moon pose, and back into warrior three position. Nice. Looking good. We're gonna do one more on this first side. Really take it nice and easy and slow and controlled. Nice. Lost my balance there. And let's go ahead and slowly come back into neutral. Really grow nice and long here. Hold for just a moment. We're relaxing in 3, 2, 1. And let's go ahead and meet the other foot to the other side. We're gonna go ahead and shimmy it out if you need. And let's go ahead and get right into the other side. Inhale, grow nice and long. And notice my side is wobbly here. And if yours is too, that's totally fine. Feel free to grab the wall. I might need to grab the wall for this one. But anyways, we're really focusing on opening through the hip flexors. And again, this is not so much a upper body exercise today. We want to make sure we're engaging through the core and the back here as we're tilting and shifting our pelvis to neutral and to the side today. And again, if you feel wobbly like I was earlier today, we're gonna make sure we're holding on to a wall surface or even a bench, but a bench can be a little bit lower. So that's why I recommend a wall so that you can adjust the position here that feels the most comfortable for you today. And again, really driving deep into those hips today. And last one right here. And let's go ahead and slowly now come back into our standing position. We're gonna go ahead and come into our hip hinges today. So this is essentially a body weight good morning. You can have your hands by your hips, or for more of a challenge and more of a true good morning, placing your fingertips behind your head here. Do not yank your head down, but just a light tap. It's almost like you're barely touching your fingertips behind your head here. From here, we're growing nice and tall through the spine. We're bending through the hips here, so really pushing your hips back. Exhaling 1/4 as the knees extend again back into standing. Exhale, feel that core into play. And then inhale again to come down towards the floor and really actively squeezing the back, squeezing the core and the glutes nice and back, especially on the bottom section or the portion, and coming back into that neutral stance. And I want to keep in mind, again, if this is one of your first times joining into this workout and my channel, you want to make sure instead of lifting upwards, you want to make sure you're lifting together in the center. So imagine you have $1 million bills in between your butt cheeks, right? You're squeezing in rather than up. This is the main mistake I see when we talk about hip extension and flexion exercise as we go through. You want to make sure you're mindful and conscientious of that if you are driving your pelvis forward. Nice. Looking good, y'all. Let's do last 3 right here. And see inhales and exhales. Last one coming up right here. Nice. And let's go ahead and slowly now come back into our seated position. And we're gonna come back into our hip rocks today. And here's the kicker. We're gonna change it up a little bit, just a little bit. We're gonna go ahead and engage a little bit of the core and the obliques here and the back. So we're gonna go ahead and rotate from the torso here. So traditional hip rock stance. rotate through the torso. Pelvis is nice and heavy in the center. We're gonna go ahead and bend into the elbows here. Inhale on the way down, scoop, and make a beautiful half circle here. So what we're doing here is getting a little bit deeper into the glutes, the core, and the back as we're shifting our body weight side to side. So we're gonna do one on each side, and then we're gonna go ahead, keep your hands interlaced in front of you or behind you if you need to. We're gonna go ahead and scoop in the center, squeeze that navel down and back between inner thighs behind you, and protect your low back, and then switch to the other side. Now we're gonna place and rotate to the other direction. Inhale at the bottom, exhale to lift, one side, half circle on each, and then coming through center, and then switch. Nice, looking good, y'all. And again, if you need to take your hands behind you and place them down as we rotate to the side, no worries at all. As long as you're hitting all of the motions and the planes here that we're going through, that's all that matters. Nice, and here you're gonna really start to feel your hip flexors activating in addition to those glutes, the obliques, the back that we're working. Nice, looking good, y'all. Keeping your hips is so important, not only for glute exercises, but overall health. We don't think about it, but our hip flexors are shortened pretty much the whole time when we're seated or driving long distances. So we don't tend to typically do a lot of exercises in a flexion and extension at the same time. We're mostly flexed, so we wanna make sure we're combating that by adding extension drills and exercises. Nice, looking good, y'all. Let's do one more on each side. And breathing through here, do not hold the breath. Nice, looking good. And let's go ahead and slowly come out of it, and we are done with the dynamic warm-up here. We're gonna go ahead and start off with, if you have a band, we're gonna go ahead and strap it right above the knees here. And we're gonna go ahead and start with some of our OG classics that every single person probably knows before starting this video, but it's a good one, so we do not skip it. So we're gonna go ahead and stick with the classics in the beginning. We're gonna go ahead and come back onto the floor, making sure your low back is pinned to the floor so you minimize that low back gap between your low back and the floor. From here, we're coming in with our heavy dumbbell on your hips here. Now, if you have the band, you wanna make sure you're squeezing outward the whole time. The main purpose of the band is to really get deep into your lateral hips and also your glutes, but also your adductor and abductor complex, both sides. So we're gonna go ahead and really engage through the side here, inner and outer thighs in addition to the glutes. So we're gonna go ahead and collectively exhaling on the way up to the top, and we're holding for about 2 seconds, count in your head, 1, 2, and then slowly dropping down, hover those glutes off the floor. Inhale here, and then exhale, driving the navel back to your low back to protect your low back. 1, 2, and then hover slow and controlled. Hold at the top, do not lose the hold, and then drop back down. Nice, keep going. If you haven't already, we already started. So please join us now. And again, just holding a little bit longer at the top, especially if you do not have the band and want to make it a little bit more challenging today. You can either grab heavier dumbbell here, or you can even do barbell if you'd like, if you are at a gym setting, or you have a barbell at the luxury of your comfort of your home. But the main thing here is to hold a little bit longer at the top. So if you can't maneuver the difficulty with the dumbbells today, you can always use tempo and even the time under tension to make it a little bit more challenging. So you can add an extra second at the top to hold, and you can allow yourself to get a little bit deeper into those glute muscles today. Nice, looking good. We're almost done today, and if you do have the band, I want you to collectively really press your thighs out the whole time. Really get into the lateral glutes. Nice, looking good, y'all. We have 3 more, and again, if you do not have the band, you're keeping your feet in a nice hip distance, neutral stance, and you're squeezing internally that $1 million bill in between your butt cheeks. Do not lose it, right? Nice work, y'all. We have last one coming up right here, and at the top, I'm gonna ask you to hold it. Do not put it down. Hold it, hold it. Nice, looking good. We have another 10 more seconds. Keep breathing, nice deep inhale through the nose. And deep exhalation out through the mouth. Do not bring it down yet. We're almost done. We have 3, 2, 1, and let's go ahead and slowly lower down. Shake it off for just a second. We're gonna get right into the same position we were just in. Now, we're gonna go ahead and incorporate a little bit more, not only the glutes, but a little bit of hamstrings down. So we're gonna go ahead, lift the hips off the floor again. Now, we're gonna go ahead and bring your feet into toes lifted, heel down. So you're pressing firmly with your heels down now. From here, we're gonna go ahead and step your feet a little bit more forward, so about 1 foot distance away from that first stance we were just in with the hip distance. Now, we're gonna go ahead and do a glute bridge here. So a little bit wider stance. Now you're gonna feel your hamstrings in addition to your glutes, so it's gonna be a little bit more intense. Again, same thing. If you have the band, it's gonna look the same as without the band. So we are still collectively in the same position here, with or without the band. Again, we're holding a little bit longer at the top, and this time let's hold for 1, 2, 3, or 3, 2, 1, whatever you like to do for counting, and then hover at the bottom for 1, 3, 2, 1 at the top, and hover. Inhale here. Keep on pressing that navel back to your low back, holding at the top a little bit longer, or you can even hold up to 5 seconds if you like. A little mini hold right there. Do you feel your hamstrings, your glute engagement yet? If not, step a little bit more further out away and really get deep into those hamstrings and those glutes today. Nice, we are almost done here. Keep breathing through it. We have 4 more. Nice deep inhale at the bottom, exhaling to lift. And notice that your range of motion may not go super low because or high, lower high, because we are stepping your feet out away, and this kind of minimizes, restricts a little bit of the motion up and down, but we are still hovering the glutes off the floor. It's like you're barely kissing your butt cheeks on the floor and then lifting it back up. Nice, last one. Hold at the top for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and let's collectively lower down. Woo, do you feel it yet? I certainly started to feel my glutes here. Awesome work, everyone. Now, we're gonna go ahead and come back slowly onto our side position. Now, for this one, if you do have the band, we're gonna go ahead and keep the band on. If you do not have the band, no worries at all. You can place. I would actually recommend dropping the weight down if you do have the luxury of having different weights, because the heavy weight can be a little bit more intense, especially if you've never done this before. I would highly recommend dropping the weight, but if you have done this before, you can keep the weight here or just use your body weight and or just the band, all right? So from here, we're gonna do clamshells. You wanna make sure we're pressing your shoulder, right? Do not go like this and do this, right? Pressing your ears and shoulders away from each other. You're lifting today, clamshells, lifting the bottom knee off the floor, making sure your obliques are engaged. We're pressing your elbow down firmly. We're opening the knees slightly and keeping the heels and toes together. Knees open and knees close. Knees open, knees close, all right? Again, main focus here is to keep that bottom leg lifted, right? We do this one a lot, I'm sure. People have done this in the past, but you might notice that you might not feel too much. We want to really get deep today, target those glutes, target a little bit of your core, right? Why not? They're all connected here, so lift that bottom knee off the floor. Let's do last 3. Keep breathing through it. Nice work, y'all. Last one, let's hold open. Hold for 3, 2, 1. Close, and let's go ahead and slowly now switch to the other side. And again, option to do the dumbbell with the dumbbell or just with the band. And even without even without a dumbbell or the band, it's gonna be still challenging. The only difference, I'm actually gonna show it in body weight so y'all can see it, but it's gonna be very similar, except again, we're lifting everything here just in body weight. Exhale, open. Inhale, close. Notice I'm not opening like this, right? Want to make sure your pelvis is still neutral and still slow and controlled here, even without the band. Imagine you have that band, right? You're squeezing an imaginary ball, like a beach ball, in between your thighs, right? Squeeze and open, even better. A weird analogy, but it works. Like a nut, like a walnut. Imagine you're crushing a walnut with your inner thighs. Nice, really feel it working. Last one, right here, open, hold. We're holding, squeeze, 2, 1, and let's go ahead and slowly recover. Great work, everyone. Now that we fired up our glutes on the floor, let's go ahead and stand up real quick. So we're gonna go ahead, if you have the band, again, strap it on now. If not, looking exactly the same. So from here, we're gonna go ahead, grab either 1 or 2 dumbbells here if you wanna make it really, really challenging. But I'm gonna demonstrate with 1 today. But if you have 1, we're gonna hold it in the center here with both hands, and obviously we have 2. Just gonna hold it. Oh gee, you wanna make sure your elbows are slightly bent here, and the whole time, right, making sure you don't do this. Like I mentioned in the beginning, you wanna make sure your pelvis is nice and neutral. So to not do that, imagine you're squeezing your $100 million bill in between your butt cheeks inward, and then slowly, slowly coming down simultaneously, keeping the dumbbell close to your shins and your front of the quads the whole time. Hold for a second at the bottom, breath retention, and then exhaling 1/4 on the way up into extension for the knees. Again, squeeze inwards, and then slowly, slowly push your hips back as simultaneously bringing your dumbbell forward. Again, your head and the neck should be about 2 hands distance away directly from your lowest point. So you're not cranking your head down like this, and you're also not extending it away. Nice. Looking good, y'all. Again, take it nice, slow, and controlled here. And whether you have the weights or not, you're still actively pressing your feet out to the side, right? You're making sure your knees do not come like this as you go down, so you're still extending through the knees outwards, even if you do not have the bands in your feet in hip distance here. Nice. And again, if you want to make it more challenging, you do not have the band today, just hold a little bit longer at the bottom and really tune into the breath work here. This is where a lot of the times people start to feel low back pain and strain. So if you are one of those people, again, please follow my cues for breath. Hold breath retention at the bottom for just a second, and then as your knees extend 1/4, then exhale. Shh, really big breath here. Last 2 reps, keep going, y'all. Do not give up on me yet. Nice, looking good. We have 1 more right here. Nice deep inhale, breathing through it, and exhale. Lift, and let's go ahead and slowly recover. Great work, everyone. Now we get to some of the fun stuff. We're gonna go ahead and do a combination here. Now, even without the band, it's gonna look exactly the same. We're gonna step back here. We're doing a nice back lunge, and at the top, we're gonna go ahead and do a lift off, right? So staying on that one side, back lunge, and lift, kick. Now, if you do want to take this up a notch, right, my friends who have the heavy dumbbell or lighter dumbbell, whatever floats your boat, we're still doing the same thing, but it's going to be the same arm with the same back leg. So go ahead and grab it now if you're doing the dumbbell. Inhale at the bottom, exhale, little kick. All right, so either way, we're sitting on that one side. Do not quit on me yet. We are almost done today. Not quite, but almost at the finish line. And making sure, if you do have the dumbbell, making sure again, the weight of the dumbbell does not arch you forward. I see this way too many times, right? Making sure, reset the back, core, all that good stuff. Like I mentioned in the warm up, we're not doing an upper body day today, but you're still gonna be engaging your back and your core, all that good stuff, back push your chain. Or if you do find yourself arching a little bit more than usual, please place the dumbbell down and just do it body weight. It's gonna be quite challenging here if you're doing it correctly, and staying nice and low. Do not come up and reset, right? Just stay nice and low right here. Last one right here. Boom, and let's go ahead and slowly now switch to the other side with or without the dumbbell. Nice, looking good, y'all. Let's go right here. Inhale down, exhale, lift. Follow along with me. That's the beauty of this workout today. You don't have to worry too much about counting today. If you don't want to, I always put the recommendations for repetition ranges so that it is more helpful for you, even if you do not use them, the guide today in this workout, even if in your life. Hopefully it's helpful, but rep ranges are there. But the beauty of today and these workouts in the series is that you don't have to do anything. You just have to look at me and just do the same thing. Nice, looking good. Awesome work, y'all. We're almost done. We have 3. Keep it nice and low right here. We are almost there. Do you feel your glutes yet? Nice work. We have one more coming up right here. Boom, squeeze, and let's go ahead and slowly come down onto the floor. We are almost done. All right, we're gonna go ahead and come back into one of my OG favorites. We're coming onto our bellies here. I'm gonna put the dumbbell aside because we don't need it. We're gonna go ahead and come back down onto the floor, and here we're gonna be doing what we call reverse frog. So from here, we're gonna go ahead and bring your heels and toes together, and if you do have the band, it's still right above the knees. Your hands are gonna be in a beautiful pillow, so stack them on top of each other. Your forehead is gonna come down onto the floor. So relax your head and the neck here. And from here, we're gonna keep your knees out wide, heels and toes together. We're gonna lift your knees off the floor here. Hold for a second. We're gonna come and open the legs into extension, into neutral extension, hip distance. And then from here, curl back, heels together, knees out wide. Hover, inhale, hover at the bottom. Exhaling to lift just from the hips. And then open the legs, close the legs, heels together. Inhale, hover at the bottom. Exhale to lift, all right? Now, keep breathing through it. If for some reason your low back is not feeling it and you're like, absolutely not, I do not want to do this today, no worries. This will be your exercise and variation, still gonna be engaging the same way. You're gonna be doing a donkey kickback, and then extension, and then flexion. Donkey kickback, extension, flexion. It's gonna take a little bit less pressure directly off of the floor on your low back. So if you're right here, you're gonna be alternating sides right here. All right, do not quit on me yet, right? This is our last and final exercise of the day for targeted glutes. Keep breathing, you got it. Nice work, y'all. And if you're still on the floor, keep going. Whichever variation you're doing, we're not stopping. Nice, looking good. Keep breathing through it, y'all. We're almost done today. We have 3 more. Keep breathing. Nice, looking good, y'all. You got it, do not quit. We're at the finish line right here. Last one right here. Boom, and let's go ahead and slowly recover. Let's go ahead and take the band off if you had it today. Whew. You should already start to feel your glutes, especially when we finish, right? During the workout, you might feel it, but it doesn't feel as intense, but especially when we're done, you should really start to feel it. Now, collectively, let's go ahead and either stay for the cool down or we're gonna hop right out. Thank you so much for doing this workout today. If y'all enjoyed, make sure you give it a thumbs up. But anyways, for my friends who need to leave, go ahead and leave now. But for my friends who wanna come into our cool down, we're gonna be right here. So we're gonna be bringing your feet together here in the center, come into a beautiful butterfly. Whew. Breathing. You can even close your eyes here if that feels comfortable, and just melting your hips and your knees down to the earth right here. Now, if you want to take it up a notch, you can do a forward fold situation. If you're very, very flexible, you can come all the way down to the floor. I'm just gonna stay right here into a nice tall spine with just focusing on my lower half of the body, bringing my knees down with the force of gravity, not by force of your muscles, just letting your body just melt and letting gravity do all the work here. You should really feel that nice opening through the inner groin, inner thighs, and in the outer thigh and the hips right here. Nice. And let's go ahead and slowly now unwind from the floor for the butterfly. And let's go ahead and come back into our tall seated position. And we're gonna go ahead and crisscross, starting with the left knee bent. We're gonna crisscross it over to the right, over the right. And we're gonna go ahead and either keeping the bottom leg extended, or if you like, coming into bent position, and we're gonna rotate. So we're gonna go ahead and come into our beautiful extension and torso rotation. So we're gonna go ahead and start with the right hand now. It's gonna thread, you can even hook it onto elbow and knee, or you can go on the outside of that knee, press away, and then the other hand is gonna be just behind you, slightly bent here. Now, looking a little bit more back behind you, really rotating from the torso here, and just breathing, melting your body and your spine and your hips. You should really start to feel your hips here in this one side. Nice. And again, if you're here with the legs extended, it's gonna look exactly the same, and just rotating through that spine, keeping a tall spine here. Do not let it sink down, right? Just keep it nice and tall, and keeping your hips nice and activated for the stretch. Nice. We're breathing nice deep inhales and exhales here. Beautiful. And let's go ahead and slowly now, before we switch sides, let's go ahead and do a stretch here, a little bit more for the outer thigh and the hips. So we're gonna go ahead and now come into extension for the bottom leg. We're gonna do kind of like a figure 8 kind of stretch here, and then leaning forward. If you can touch the opposite toe that's extended, feel free to grab it here and lean forward so you really feel your hips and your inner thighs stretching here. If not, you can't reach your feet here or your toes, you can grab onto your calves or even your quad, wherever you can reach, but just actively pressing and folding over into a forward fold position so you really feel that in your glutes. Nice. Relaxing the head and the neck here, and actively pressing that knee to open towards the floor so you really feel that inner thigh as well. Nice, should feel so, so nice. Awesome work, everyone. And let's go ahead and slowly, slowly come to the other side. So starting again with our leg into flexion and twisting to the other side. And again, the hand positioning can either be elbow to knee or outside of the knee for the elbow and pressing away that knee. Beautiful work. And the leg either extended at the bottom or bent here. It doesn't really matter for the legs, just how comfortable you feel and how much of an engagement you like to feel. You're still gonna feel a nice outer hip stretch with the spinal stretch today. So either way, it should feel really, really nice. And if it feels comfortable, feel free to close the eyes here. Getting a little bit more space into this last side here. And slowly, slowly unwinding from our stretch on this side. And then we're gonna finish off with the spinal stretch for our hip and our inner thigh. Now either grabbing a hold of the opposite toes for forward fold, your calves, or even your quads. Nice work, everyone. And allowing the knee to come down to the floor, relaxing the head and the neck here. You might find that one side can be a little bit tighter than the other. No worries, that happens to a lot of us. So I'm not judging the sensations, but just noticing, I feel a little bit tighter on this side today, or a little bit more mobile on this side versus the other. Awesome. We'll take last few moments together here in this stretch, and then you'll be all done. I'm so, so proud of y'all if y'all have been doing this series. I know it is not the most intense, but it's also not the easiest. So I'm so, so proud of y'all if y'all have been going through this series, and I hope that it's educational as well for mobility and how to lift and do mobility exercises, combination for a routine. But anyways, that is it for today. Thank you so, so much for joining this workout, and see you for day 5. Have a great day, y'all.